Today I'm going to show you my absolute favorite thrifted finds of all time. I searched my home high and low to show you some of the things I love. I've got 9 categories to share with you: books, baskets, dishes, art, clothing, accessories, and so much more. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Peaceful Home. This is part 3 in this little Thrifting Craze series I started this week. In my previous video, I shared how I started out with yard sales, moved on to thrift stores, and then things like Facebook Marketplace, estate sales, etc. If you want to find things that are unique, affordable, and sustainable, buying secondhand is the way to go. I'm going to show you some of my top finds in each category, and then at the end, I will show you how I've styled everything in my home. I'm going to start with dishes. First of all, this is the blue transferware that I talked about in the last video that I purchased at a yard sale. And this is really what got me going buying secondhand. I love this set. We've broken a few pieces over the years, but I bought them almost 30 years ago. Next, I have a collection of false graph dishes. I don't have anywhere to display them right now, but I do display the tureen, and I love this one. I have a collection of a few, and this is one of my favorites. I was also able to thrift the ladle because this didn't come with one, and I think I paid $1 or $2 for this. And I don't remember what I paid for the soup tureen, but I have been looking for a hutch that I could display my collection of dishes in. Third is my collection of pitchers. I collect white pitchers. This one happens to be my favorite. It is very French looking, just gorgeous. I use it often. I use it for drinks. I put plants in it. I keep most of my collection on a high shelf above our kitchen window. Next is suitcases. I have a collection of 4, and whenever I see a vintage suitcase, I'm very tempted, but I try to be very picky. I love this gray one because the color goes really well in my bedroom. This little one is probably my favorite simply because of the monogram, AIH. I just love monograms, and I think this is such a sweet case. I'll show you where I keep these on top of my armoire. Next is books. The majority of the ones I have are secondhand. If it has a unique or linen cover, then that usually tempts me. I also love sets. This little set of great epochs in American history is darling. I love this. I keep it here in my bedroom. I also love small things. So this fits the bill of 2 things I love. I'm always looking for old classics, books that I've read before, and also things of interest to me. I've always had a passion for etiquette. So when I found this little book on etiquette, I had to pick it up. This was published in 1955. I also love field guides, and the cover of this book is one of my favorites, Get to Know the Wildflowers. I love anything by Jane Austen. I think I have almost every book, hardbound or in a really beautiful or old cover. I also love Christie. It's really hard for me when I find copies of books that I already have because sometimes I just can't resist the covers. This copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin is absolutely gorgeous. I also love books from my childhood, especially if they have beautiful covers. Next category is art, and I'm going to have to run downstairs to show you a couple of things. These are a few of my favorite secondhand paintings. I have a set of all 4 seasons of these Currier and Ives prints. I alternate out the summer and winter on my picture ledges, and the other 2 I will show you, they're in the hallway. This darling cow print is probably my all-time favorite. I just love him. I love the frame. I love everything about him. And I also love the hay wain. I found this at an estate sale, and it was in pretty good shape, including the frame. This is an extremely famous painting in England done by John Constable in 1821. Next is furniture. Now this French buffet is one of my favorite pieces. Our local Goodwill, before they moved to their new location, had a very small building, so they did not do furniture. One day I walked in and there was this piece. It was $30 and so gorgeous. The detailing on it was beautiful. And what I did was I put it in the garage because it needs to be refinished. After about a year, I thought, I don't know when I'm going to get to this, and the piece is beautiful as is. So I decided to store it in my bedroom until I'm ready to refinish it. I'm so glad I did because I enjoy seeing it every day. Next, this set of chairs. I was looking for something that would fit my French country style that I was going for in my bedroom. These were actually a Facebook Marketplace find. Again, we use them daily. This wingback chair is absolutely a favorite piece. I found it at a nearby thrift store. One of the bonuses is that an extra slipcover was made in the same fabric as the chair. So if I need to just pull this off, I can wash it. And even while I'm washing it, the cushion underneath is the same fabric. I originally bought this thinking that I would recover it, but the pattern has grown on me and I love the colors. I spotted this sofa table as soon as I walked into a thrift store, and my first thought was, why is this still here? I expected it to be a couple $100. It was 80 bucks. It's such a versatile piece that it can be used just about anywhere, and I've moved it to several different places. It can be a standalone table. Here I have it behind the sofa. I just moved it from being over under the window. The next category is plant pots. And as I'm sure you know, these are very expensive. So I thrift these whenever I can, and I've gotten such great deals. This is one that I featured in a thrift haul. I saw it, loved it, but left it behind. And after an hour or two, I decided I really wanted it, and I raced back hoping it would be there. Obviously it was. I like this pot because, oh, hello? It's very echoey. I'll have to hold that away from me. This one is very versatile. I love the height, and I just love the old world look of it. My other favorite is this pot that I have downstairs. I have ferns and ivy in it. I just planted another fern in this, and I brought it inside. It had been outside for winter, but in the late spring and summer, it is way too hot. So I bring it inside, and I featured it in my spring living room tour. I didn't have to do anything with this pot. I love the gray distressed finish and the shape. I'm having so much fun showing you this. I think it's so important to recognize that thrifting is not a quick fix. I mean, it can be if you're just buying stuff to buy stuff. But a lot of times when we're looking for just the right thing or something special and unique that we didn't even know we were looking for, it takes time and patience. These are things I've collected over years and years, but they're tried and true. They're things that I really love and things that I feel make my home feel cozy, and that is part of what makes a peaceful home. When you look around and you see things that bring you joy or bring memories, that definitely contributes to peace. Okay, we've got 3 categories to go. Next is clothing. This is one of my favorite hats. I got this at an estate sale. I love the turned up edge and the leather strap. And it is absolutely one of my favorites for the summer. I love this skirt. I love the pattern. I'm a blue gal, so I enjoy blue florals. And the way that this skirt just falls on me is flattering. It's very comfortable, and I can dress it up or dress it down. Also, I have this coat. This is my favorite thrifted coat with this beautiful corduroy and the lining. It's very comfortable and very warm. Lastly, I found a red sweater. Now, I've gone through a couple of red sweaters in the last few years, and I just decided red is not my color until I found this one. This is a Lucky Brand red V-neck, and I think this is my shade. When I wear this sweater, I just feel good. I feel like it complements my skin tone. It's slightly oversized, so it just has that really comfy feel. And I think I've worn this like 3 days in the last week. All right, on to baskets. If you have watched my channel, you know that I love baskets. If you're new here, would you consider subscribing? And if you've been watching my channel for a bit, but you haven't subscribed, would you consider that? It's completely free. You just hit the button. It acts like a vote for my channel. First on my basket list is this picnic basket with a strap. Now, I featured this in a thrift haul recently, and this one is just gorgeous. I love the fact that I can use the strap to carry it down to the river to actually take it on a picnic. And this gingham fabric with bees is darling. I absolutely love it. Super sweet. Now this isn't really styled as much as it has its spot in my laundry room. And this is where you see my love of baskets, because I store my baskets here. And I've really narrowed down to the ones that I love and I use the most, and they all fit here. Because of that, I'm not feeling so cluttered and overwhelmed with stuff. And whenever I'm looking for a particular basket, I can come right in here and choose the one I need. This was a great find. So baskets are another thing that are expensive, especially the large ones. Typically with the big ones, I'm not paying more than $10 or $12. I love this basket because it holds such a large amount. It's a unique shape, it's very short, and the handles are really helpful. We use this sometimes to put our produce in, especially during orange season. We live in citrus country, so we can throw all of that into this basket. It's also a great serving basket if you're having a large party or gathering. I've used it for several different things. One thing in particular was my daughter's wedding shower. We did a bagel bar. And so we piled up all the bagels in here, and then we had all these different spreads and toppings. It was a lot of fun. Next, fishing baskets. I have 2 of them now in my collection, and I look for the ones that are authentic with wicker, with natural fibers and materials. I really don't want anything that's like plastic coated. This one I found last year, and often I put plants in them, but they can be used for so many things. Lastly, one of my bigger baskets, not the biggest, but this one I think is so beautiful, and it comes in really handy for storing some extra pillows and blankets. Next is accessories. Now I have a lot of live plants, but there's a limit to what I can take care of. And so faux plants are awesome. The majority of the ones I have been purchased secondhand. I thrifted this as a set. There are 2. I am currently keeping one upstairs in my bedroom and one downstairs on the mantle. Next are a couple of busts. First, this one of this little boy. And you know, busts like this are very French. And I was looking for something like this for my bedroom, and I found this one. It was just a couple of dollars. I think it's so sweet. I actually have this over on my buffet with this set of history books. You'll see that in just a minute. Next is this beautiful horse. Now, this looks a lot like Trigger, my husband's horse. He has since passed. We miss him, but this is a beautiful reminder of him. I purchased this at a thrift boutique, and it was $12, which was a little high, but again, it was a boutique, and I had a 25% off coupon. Next is a set of Pottery Barn linen curtains. Now, I mentioned these in the last video and how I got them at the thrift store, so check out that video below if you missed it. But I didn't even really know what these were valued at until I got home. And I'm also just now realizing that that was almost 3 years ago, and I don't remember. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at the video. The curtain video is part of a series on how to decorate a room from start to finish. And it's all the steps I took to complete the Jane Austen room, which was our guest room at the time. These curtains are not only beautiful, but obviously a steal. I got them for such a great price and saved a bundle. Last in accessories would be mirrors. And I have a lot of mirrors. I had a mirror wall above my couch in my previous home. And when we moved to this house, I wasn't quite sure where I was going to put that. There wasn't really room downstairs unless I put it where I have my picture ledges. But I decided to do it in my bedroom. It's a much smaller wall, but I just love how all of these mirrors, although completely different, really come together, which is what you want with a collection. If I had to pick one mirror, it would be the large blue one. That one I purchased at a yard sale for $10. Well, thanks for listening to all of my favorite things. I obviously couldn't show you everything, but it was really fun for me to go room to room and think about where I got certain things and choose my favorites. Let's go take a look and see how I display these things in my home. appreciate you watching so much. If you know a friend who would enjoy this video, would you consider sharing it with them? Thanks so much for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. God bless you.